matching tragedies.
Previous match on the Bryant Tree and Landscaping. Bryant tire number 08 is Russ Bryant, and starting scratch on the field. Out of Warwick, Rhode Island, the Bryant Dale, T&R Auto Repair. Number 12 is Kenny Dale. Al Rodriguez looks him over. He waves the green flag, and we are underway. Kevin Follen taking the early lead. Russ Tatro drops in behind underneath Tony Olszewski for second as they battle. Albert Clements drops back a spot right beside Billy Austin at 77. Pete Rhoda is starting to work his way up on the outside, currently battling with the 24 of Chris McGee, right behind Jeff Sutcliffe in the 36. Olszewski drops in right behind Tatro for that third spot. Billy Haas up the fourth. Sparky Austin on the inside fifth as Sutcliffe and Rhoda get tangled. Bumpers all locked together, and the 08 of Russ Bryant has lost the right rear tire and wheel. Sutcliffe and Rhoda getting untangled as we are under caution. Al Rodriguez looks him over and waves the green flag, and once again we're underway. Jumping out to the lead, right behind him, Tony Olszewski trying to get back up there. Russ Tatro trying the outside this time as he battles for the lead. Billy Haas on the outside of Olszewski for the third spot. Sparky and Clements battle for position. Sparky looks 3 high, nothing there. Tatro trying to get a jump on the outside. Olszewski and Follen, a little bit of contact there. Falling a little loose coming off the corner, trying to stay out front. Tatro settles in to the outside of Olszewski. Albert Clements sideways down the back stretch. Calls Betancourt to get onto the side of him. As we crossed 5 laps. Betancourt sitting in 7th spot. Remember, only 6 cars will qualify. Waterman makes it 3 wide down the backstretch. He backs off. There's nothing there. Olszewski to the inside of Follen for the lead out of 4. Billy Haas into second. Tatro trying to follow suit. As Haas gets sideways into Tatro.
41 into the wall.
41 into the wall. That's Pete Roeder. And once again, we are back under caution. Once again, we are underway.
Tom gets in front of his eye teeth and you can't see what he's saying.
Kevin Follen dropping back just a bit. Sparky Arsenault moves up to that second spot. Clements a little bit sideways down the back straightaway.
Thank you.
Betancourt up to 4th. Now since the set up third as Clements drops a few positions on the back straightaway. Chris McGee and the 120 of Jeff Waterman, your top 6 Waterman, underneath Follen for that 4th spot as we got 2 laps to go this time around. Follen loose off the corner, sits in 5th. McGee right behind him. Betancourt into second underneath Sparky. Almost some contact as Sparky is loose coming off that second corner.
White flag.
Betancourt sits second. 1 spot to go, 1 lap to go. The 30 of Robert Lemire. 72 of Clements sideways out of the corner. Olszewski a little sideways through 1 and 2. Sparky gets a good jump off the corner to the outside of Olszewski for that lead. Coming out of turn number 4, they're side by side. Olszewski and Arsenault. Arsenault's got the jump, and Arsenault's going to take the win. Olszewski finishes second. Betancourt on this evening.
And magic moment is arriving for the 2nd Street Division heat as Don Dettlingen Jr. in the 15 comes out. Don's from Portsmouth, Rhode Island with Scott LaBelle in car number 80 from Taunton. Sean Sylvia from East Taunton in the 33 car. Jimmy Sylvia from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, car number 116. Ronald DeRoe from Bristol, Rhode Island, car number 65. Nancy Sherman comes up from Lakeville, over from Lakeville in the 67 car. Robbie Kohler in the 4 from Warwick, Rhode Island. Amasa Harmon from Berkeley in the 40 car. Dave Westgate from Taunton, car number 49. 00 is Gene Weston from Warwick. Jerry DeGaspari Jr. from Pawtucket in the 71. Scott Sundin, the furniture people from East Douglas. So he's just out there, take it easy. If he's careful, he'll get around. With the green flag, Don Detlinger. Detlinger gets the green. He's going Scott LaBelle to the outside in the 80. Look at Amos Harmon come down underneath and went by Nancy Sherman like she wasn't even there. Whoa, Hamasy's got that thing going. Very, very tight in the turns. Down the inside goes Rob Kohler in the 4 as the 33 and the 116 get tangled up and locked up together. Jimmy Sylvia gets tangled up with that 34 car. Detlinger still manages to hang on to the lead. Down the inside goes the 4 of Kohler. They're 3 deep in the turn. Look out! Everybody wants to get in the front. It's only a heat, but you'd think it was a feature the way that Amos Harmon in that red number 40. Amos is really got his pedal to the metal down the backstretch, making it 3 deep. Down goes Westgate in the 49 car. Kevin, are you sure this isn't a feature? They're running like it. Amos, oh, the 4 and the 15. The 15 goes for Danny Sullivan Luke. Amos Harmon takes over the lead. He throws it out sideways, and he is motivating, but the yellow is out. The yellow is out as we go back one, as Kohler and Hamacy got tangled up. Kohler and Don Detlinger got tangled up. And Detlinger did a 360. Coming down, coming down. Green and going. Harmon stays with him. Harmon stays with him into the turn. Harmon staying with him as he's pulling out. Now Harmon pulling them a little bit down through the second turn. Into the 4th, let's see what Harmon does. Look at this, back further. Halfway mark, halfway mark. Harmon letting Kohler get out a little bit ahead of him. Westgate, well, no, Harmon slides in front of Westgate, takes over that spot. Doesn't leave the opening. Harmon may be looking for the 4 to go to the outside. Harmon looking close down the inside. Harmon keeping Kohler nervous. As Kohler has got that 4 really motivating. Now he's wide coming out of the turn. Hold on to that 80 car further back. He and the 86 getting together. Mike Kamara and the 80 getting together with 2 laps to go. Harmon's under him. Harmon's under him all the way. Harmon down into the first turn. Can he pull him down the backstretch? Gives it everything it's got. Goes in very, very deep into the turn. Harmon holding that inside row tight with white flag coming out. Harmon's got that 40, so it's handling really, really strong. Harmon driving a tight, tight loop. Kamara still having trouble with the 86. Out of the turn for the finish. For the finish is the 40 of Amos Harmon from Berkeley, as he has got that 40 automobile, so it stays right down on the racetrack. And Kez ready to go with the 3rd one. We're rolling.
Whitney Refrigeration Colonial Auto Parts. Number 70 is Lee Palmenter. Outside of Lee, out of Norton, Mass, the Flynn's Pest Control, J. Fisk Construction. Number 91 for Chris Robbins. 3rd on the field, out of Fairhaven, Mass, the Beer Garb, Seaport Inn. Number 59 for Jose Ferro Jr. Outside of Jose, out of Rehoboth, Mass, is Mike Hope in the Mike Services DVG Racing Apparel. Number 9.
She put down.
3 rows back inside lane out of South Attleboro, Mass. The TCI Press Mobile Car Care, number 38 for Keith Morrow. Outside of Keith, out of Seekonk, Mass, the Hollister Auto Body Quality Aluminum and Vinyl Products, number 25 for David Furtado. Rodriguez sticks him over, Palmenter and Robbins bring him down. Green flag is out and we're underway. Robbins with a good run on the outside. Palmenter having some problems down the front stretch. As Mike Hope gets besides him, Jose Ferro drops back to that 4th spot. Robert Tundo makes it 3 wide going through the corner. Roland Wheeler and Fernandez, as Fernandez gets punted up. gets together with Keith Morrow. Fernandez almost getting caught up with that after a little evasive action. Wheeler's stuck on the track and we are under caution. Once again, we are underway as Al Rodriguez waves the green flag. Robbins with a good jump once again. Mike Hope drops in right behind him. Palmenter and Farrell battle for that third position as Keith Morrow hard into the wall out of turn number 2. As that car just shot to the right, coming off the corner. Dave Furtado and Lee Palmenter getting together on the front stretch as somebody's bumper is rolling down the speedway. And we have gone to a red flag situation as the track crew and ambulance crew check on Keith Morrow on that number 38.
He finally just now let his screen down. So he's able to do that on the side.
He's I'm sure he's shaking up.
We're in pretty good shape.
Huh?
We're in pretty good shape.
I know. As they sit, are qualified for the feature event, but things can change. And quickly, as once again, we're back underway. Robbins jumping out front once again. Mike Hope dropping into second. Jose Ferro and David Furtado still battling for position. Matt Dewey trying to work his way up there. Kenny Spencer on the outside of him for that 6th spot. Spencer wants to qualify. He sits 3rd in points. Matt Dewey, your points leader. Rotundo trying to make it 3 wide down the front stretch underneath Jose Ferro. Nothing there. As Dewey and Spencer still battle for that 6th and final qualifying spot. Fernandez getting underneath Spencer coming out of the corner. Spencer drops back to 8th. Not where he wants to be. 5 laps down, 5 to go. Hope trying to get underneath Robbins. Nothing there. Rotundo sits 4th. Now sets his sights on Jose Ferro. He moves up into 5th. A little bit of sideways, but now it's Fernandez to get underneath for that 5th spot. Drops Dewey back to 6th. Roland Wheeler right there, working his way up into a qualifying spot. They're battling for that 6th and coveted position. Wheeler takes over 6th. Dewey drops back to 8th as Jim Lawrence in the 81 moves up 1 spot.
2 to go.
We've got 2 laps to go as Rotundo gets underneath Hope, coming off a 4, nothing there going down the front stretch. Drops back into line. Fernandez sideways through the corner. Dewey gets underneath Lawrence, and Wheeler moves into 6th spot as they're battling hot and heavy for 6th. 1 lap to go. It's Robbins, Hope, Rotundo, Ferro, Fernandez, and right now Dewey is Lawrence. The 16 get together, and the 25 of David Furtado goes around. But coming out of 4, it's Chris Robbins up front, Mike Hope 2nd, Robert Rotundo 3rd, Jose Ferro, Peter Fernandez, and Matt Dewey round out your top 6. Dave, if I can just jump in for a second. Jim, you were talking about some of the older names that are running the Pro 4 Modifieds tonight, and another legendary name here at Seekonk Speedway. And he's up on the starter stand right now. Folks, let's give him a round of applause. Kenny Isimone coming back.
Looking for the green. Kenny checks the field over the green. It's up. We're underway with heat number 1. It's a side-by-side battle. Billy King, J.R. Gorman, off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Gorman edges out front, but Billy King runs right to the inside. Who will lead lap number 1? It's Billy King. Lead the first lap. For the 2nd position. Here comes Mike Casey in the 8 car. Then it'll be Tom Sleeman in the 17 running 4th. And then the number 7, a rookie driver, Chris Norton, working the high in the 4th position. galore. Off turn 4, it's Morgan. Leads his lap as he crosses the right. J.R. Morgan, Billy King, Mike Casey. 17 is Tom Sleeman. This time around, they'll get the halfway marker. 4 down, 4 to go. Moving up to the best positions. Number 1 of Dave Lassard. Dick Du Bois runs next. And keep an eye on the 0 of LeMay. Off turn 4 to complete another lap. J.R. Morgan holds on to the lead. As his recall likes to manage over Billy King. Mike Casey now working with the bumper of King. But off turn 4, the popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. Morgan, King, Casey, Sleeman. As Dave Lassard from the crowd moved to the 4th position. White flag out, 1 more lap remaining. We'll watch Gorman as he travels off turn 4. The pickup heat win number 1. The Pro 4 Series. Second belongs to Billy King. Third, Mike Casey. Fourth, Dave Lassard. And then the battle for 5th between the 0 of Joe LeMay and the 17. 6th place in Canton, Mass. And Carbone Automotive Machine. Just some of the sponsors here tonight for the first annual Frank Procopio Memorial Race. The second qualifying event now coming out on the Speedway.
I couldn't get a name for him. He wasn't allowed.
There's 11 more competitors to see action. 7 going to the 30 race cars. But here we go with heat number 2. As Jim Hatt, the green is out. We'll watch Kenny Simone and see if it stays green. He does so. Jim Hatt in the 47. Looking to win heat number 2. Bill Schultz running in the 2nd spot, but keep an eye on the 25. 25 being driven by D.M. Judkins. And the 124 of Ron D'Alessandro. Schultz using the high road off turn 4. Still Jim Hatt. Taking the 25 with D.M. Judkins to the inside. D.M. takes over the 2nd spot. Here comes D'Alessandro to the inside of Schultz. Can he pull off the move? As Schultz is stuck up in the high route. The first 4 cars battle it out. Jim Hatt, the 47. And here comes D'Alessandro. Now you know why D'Alessandro is in the top 3 in the point standings. He's heading down working the back number of Hatt. The outside is D.M. Judkins. D'Alessandro sneaks a peek to the inside of Hatt off turn 4. They're side by side, cross and right together. Through turns 1 and 2, here comes D'Alessandro. He pulls off the lead down the back straightaway. D'Alessandro, your new leader, off turn 4, receives 2 laps to go. And falls back to 2nd. Here comes the number 2 car of Bob Smith. As the 38 of Bill Schultz spins off turn 2. White flag out, 1 more to go. D'Alessandro running in a gray run as the yellow appears out on the speedway. The yellow is out on the racetrack for the spinning car of Bill Schultz, who is running in the top 2. Off turn 4. Kenny Isamone drops it and they're back underway. Tough start for the 124 of D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro off the pace. Puts Jim Hart back up front with Rob Smith in 2nd. Kenny Hurt runs 3rd. White flag out 1 more time around the speedway. Jim Hurt, 47. Here comes Smith to the inside. New leader down the backstretch. Mr. Black, number 2 of Smith. He looks for the checkered flag as it's waving off turn 4. Smith for the win. Hurt for 2nd. The 97 runs 3rd. Kenny Hurt. Denham Super Service, J.R. Hudson, Bill Anderson, Bill Ambrosio, Williams Racing, Joe Brady Racing, the Miservi family. Well, here comes heat number 3, ladies and gentlemen. The driver starting on the pole is the current point leader in the Pro 4 Modified Tour from Glastonbury. Off turn ball drops in and we're underway. Late stop ProNyne. As she leads the field off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. George Savory runs in the second spot. Then it's the 16 of Chris Ozella in third. 21X. Then Oliver in fourth. Bill Gaston fifth. Richard Savory in sixth. Keep an eye on some of the other cars in the back. But meanwhile, it's shaping up a battle for the top spot. Catherine Allen has less than a couple of advantage over 21 of Savory. Here comes Hollowick in the 21X. He slides to the inside, takes over the third position. Over to 16 of Chris Ozella. Richard Savory now moving up to fourth. Dan Deservian in the fifth position. On turn 4, 4 laps now, 4 to go. It is the 90 of the 3. Savory second. Hollowick runs third. Ozella fourth. Richard Savory in fifth. Deservian sixth. Blue Warren seventh and Bill Gaston is eighth. It looks like the 90 of the 3 is about a car length advantage on Savory as they receive the popsicle stick with just 2 laps to go. Battle for fifth in Missouri, which is the inside of Richard Savory. White flag out. It's Renee Dupree, George Savory, and Howard. Chris Ozella and Dan Missouri. Off turn 4. Second is out. Here comes Savory. Can he pull off the move? No. Renee Dupree in for the win. Savory second. Hollowick third. Ozella fourth. Dan Missouri fifth. Sixth goes to Richard Savory.
In Mass, and the H.A. Wright Electric Company, number 16, is Robert Wright, outside of Robert, out of Taunton, Mass. And the Roadstone Corporation Skip-Around Limo, number 20, is Skip Shoemaker.
Trying to get in all this process.
Okay. All right.
Starting third on the field, out of Attleboro, Mass, the Sound Tropics, After Hours Body Shop, number 2, for Dave Titus, outside of Dave, out of Westport, Massachusetts, and the W.S. Shepherd Company, Manchester Racing Engines, number 95, is Billy Manchester. Fifth on the field is Linwood Cowan. He hails from Swansea, Mass. And the Changer Nightclub and Bar, RS Equipment Company, Best Fruit and Produce, number 14. Outside of Linwood, out of Providence, Rhode Island, the LaRocca Engineering, Rhode Island Drive Shaft, number 43 for Kenny Kohler. Starting seventh in the field, out of Mansfield, Mass, the Juniors Auto Supply. Al Rodriguez looks him over, green flag is out, and we're underway. And Skip Shoemaker with a good battle down the front stretch into the first corner, side by side, coming out of 2. Right jumps out front. Titus a little sideways down the back stretch, able to gather it back up. Everybody makes it through. Shoemaker drops into second, third, the 95 of Billy Manchester. Dave, can you do me a favor and shut that door, please? Titus and Kohler battle for fourth as Lynn Young sits in sixth. Bobby Pellin, Scott Estrella, and Linwood Cowan trying to work their way towards the front. Robert Wright starting to open up a little bit of a lead over Shoemaker, who's got some gap between him and Manchester for third. Kohler now sets his sight on the outside of Manchester. Kohler still battling on the high side. Titus back underneath him. Battling for that fourth spot. Glenn Young sits in sixth, but hot and heavy coming up behind him is the number 12 for Bobby Pella Jr., our defending champion. Currently sits second in the points, only 6 points out. Robert Wright, though, still out front, second. Skip Shoemaker as we cross the halfway point. Manchester holds on to third. Kohler and Titus still battling for that fourth spot. Young looks to make it a 3-car battle as he closes in on Titus. Right behind him, lets him know he's there. Titus now pulls away on the inside. Young gathers up underneath as Kohler drops back to fifth. Manchester putting heavy pressure on Skip Shoemaker for that second spot. Titus sits there. Kohler still trying to hold on the outside. Young tries to make it 3 wide underneath Titus. No room as he backs off. Young sits in that 6th and coveted position. Estrella trying the outside to work his way into the qualifying spot, but still out front Robert Wright, as he's got a 6-car length lead as we've got 2 laps to go. Shoemaker holding on for 2nd, Manchester, Titus 4th. Manchester and Young side by side. Bobby Pellin through the infield a little bit off the corner, drops him back. 1 lap to go. Kohler and Young still battling for position. 6 cars to qualify. Robert Wright looks like he's going to take this one down. Shoemaker's going to finish 2nd. Manchester 3rd, Titus. Glenn Young and Kenny Kohler are your top 6. Scott Estrella.
Very quickly for the next one now, we got Richie McRae in car number 13. He'll be coming through the line. Richie comes to us from Swansea. Ron Reed in the 89 from Rehoboth. Steve Taylor from Charleston in the 53 car. Dana Willis in the 55 from Hanson. Mike Becker in the 17 from East Bridgewater. Glenn Lawton in that number 70 from Westport. Joe Perry Jr. from Swansea. That's that number 3, that black and white number 3. Rob Murray from Tiverton in the 08 car. Tom Scully in that 7. What a night this is going to be. Look out. Here's the green. We're racing. There's Richie McRae trying to hold off Ron Reed. Ron Reed is way out wide. And now Richie McRae manages to take that inside track. Reed right behind him gets in front of Taylor in the 53. Taylor wanted the spot. Dana Willis to the outside in the 55. Dana Willis has got his foot in it again tonight. So has Glenn Lawton, as they all want to get up there in the front. Everybody anxious to lead this race. As the 13 of Richard McRae. Ron Reed still holding on to that 2nd spot, hovering with a chance to get down the inside. It's Richie McRae. The Levesque Tree Service automobile number 13 still has the lead. Ron Reed in 2nd. Steve Taylor hanging on to that 3rd spot with Glenn Lawton sitting in 4th. The 08 of Rob Murray and Dana Willis going at it. As Willis, not having a good time on that outside road, appears to be going backwards. Dana's going backwards, which is unusual for that 55 automobile. Harry now in the 3 gets under him. Now the 7 of Scully gets under Willis. Competition very, very tight, single file. That's the speed they're going right now. As Richie McRae has the lead. Ron Reed continues to be 2nd. Steve Taylor in the 53 is 3rd, and Lawton in the 70. As the 55 is throwing something out that right exhaust. 55 really heaving something out the right exhaust as he comes by. Whether it's fuel or water, it's coming right out the exhaust pipes. And he gets the black flag. You can see something wrong with that car because that car is normally much faster. To the outside goes Scully as Scully starts to take off now. With 2 to go for Richie McRae. 2 to go. Ron Reed would like to get by him, but he still wants to keep that qualifying position, so he's going to elect to stay where he is right now. Lawton looks like he wants to add to it. Tom Scully's trying to get up along the outside. White flag is out. White flag is out. Look at the 70 as the 70 gets alongside of Steve Taylor. Just trying it on for size to see if it's still there. Here comes the 13. 13, you win it. Ron Reed is 2nd. The 53, Steve Taylor is 3rd. And Glenn Lawton finishing in 4th. In the 13. Ready to go, Kev?
I'm ready to go. Starting on the pole in the 3rd of 3 Street Stock Heat events out of Pembroke, Mass. In the Cisco's Performance, Jim's Garage. Number 31 is Jeff Goodrow. Starting outside of Jeff out of Attleboro, Mass. In the PM Motorsports, RPM Performance. Number 6 is Kenny Colvin. Starting 3rd on the field. Out of Coventry, Rhode Island, the Simpsons Brothers Auto Sales, Ron's Auto and Truck Repair, Bamford Signs, number 15 for Kenny Bamford. Fourth on the field, out of Middleborough, Mass, the B&H Auto Modified, Pro Stocks, Legend Cars. Green flag is out, and we're on the way. Jeff Goodrow Colvin drops in behind as Robert Clark moves to the outside of Colvin for that second spot. Bamford sits fourth, moves into third underneath Clark. Right behind him, Steve Ribby in the 18 and Ed Gannon in the 8. Clark, a little loose coming off the corner. Ribby hard on the binders as Clark gets high off the corner. Ribby tries to get underneath, make it 3 wide, nothing there, going through the corner, he's got the room. Ribby moves in underneath Clark, Clark moves back as Corey Petro and Dean Petty get underneath it as we've got 3 wide action, Kenny Bamford. Dean Petty moves up into the 5th spot. Bamford back to 6. Here comes Corey Boudreau in that 21 underneath Bamford. Kenny Colvin holding off Ed Gannon the 3rd as much as he can. Gannon moves high as Ribby goes around in 3 and 4. Rolls that car off the track and out of harm's way as Ed Gannon the 3rd moves to the outside of Kenny Colvin for that 2nd spot. Eddie Leclerc sits 4th. Dean Petty 5th. Corey Boudreau 6th. Steve Ribby comes out in the middle of the pack on the front stretch. No harm is done. Everybody makes a bite. Colvin underneath Goodrow for the lead. Into 3 and 4 as we come down to the halfway point. Kenny Colvin takes the lead. Gannon in the 2nd. Goodrow back to 3rd. Here comes Corey Boudreau on the high side. Corey's gone by Bamford. He's gone by Petty. But can he get by any further? As Jeff Goodrow starts to drop back a bit on the outside. Petty now underneath this. Corey makes it 3 wide through the corner. Nothing there. Goodrow drops in front of Petty.
Must be the wrong one.
Corey gets alongside of him on the outside. Goodman loose off the corner. Dean Petty tries to get underneath him. Ed Gannon moves to the high side of Colvin, trying to take over the lead through 3 and 4. They're side by side. Coming across the line, Colvin's got the lead, but barely. Throwing that car in the corner, a little bit sideways going in. Bobby Leclerc sits in 3rd. Gannon gets a jump into the corner, tries to take over the lead across the line. He's got the lead. Colvin 2nd. And here comes Corey on the high side. Once again, he's trying to take over that 3rd spot on the outside of Bobby Leclerc. He's just got 11.5 to do it. Colvin trying to hold on the inside. Gannon out front. Colvin, Leclerc, and Goodrow top 4 side by side. Jeff Goodrow sits 5th. Dean Petty 6th. Kenny Bamford back to 7th. Corey's got a good run on the outside. He's past Leclerc. He sets his sights on Colvin. Checking flag is out. He doesn't have enough time. Your winner, Ed Gannon the 3rd. Kenny Colvin was 2nd. Corey Boudreau was...
Pro Stocks coming on the track right now. Mike Cavallaro in the 87 automobile from Seekonk. Dave Sylvia from Warwick in the 0. Jeff Thompson in that black number 46, that very, very fast Viveris Insurance automobile. Freddie Estelle Jr., that's that Ford-powered engine by Caruso, number 48. Fred Estelle Jr. from Westport, the Lindblad chassis car. Mike Bowler in the Zeke's Custom Auto, number 10. Mike comes from Freetown, East Freetown. Hooley, Dick Holohan. Hey, as Mike Cavallaro bringing him around, looking for the green. Al Rodriguez says, yes, it's time to go. We're racing. The 0 of Dave Sylvia does not get going. That took that whole outside row back quite a peg. Here's the 46 of Thompson now. He gets in there strong. The big Thunderbird number 48, sitting there in 3rd spot, using up a lot of racetrack tonight. Houlihan seems to be having trouble getting by Dave Sylvia. Down the backstretch, that number 1 of Houlihan trying to get by Sylvia. Sylvia having problems getting that thing started. And we got a engine about to blow in Jimmy Whitehead's car as a black flag will be coming out on him. He knows that the red lights are coming on, everything's flashing. All right. As Cavallaro, Mike is having one of his better runs, the Cisco car, having one of his best runs right now. Mike Cavallero, that red number 87, he's being challenged by two very, very fast automobiles, but Mike driving a wide track using both grooves. They belong to him. He's in front, proving to be a tough man to get by. Mike Cavallero, the Atomic Veterans, number 87. It's halfway. As they continue to challenge, Houlihan up in there now behind the Ford. Here comes Tripp, the 88. Cavallero. Whoa, everybody on the string that time as Cavallero got out of it a little bit suddenly. Thompson looked for a place to go. Estelle had to look hard for a place to go. And Houlihan gets under Estelle because of it. Everybody jacked up hard coming into that fourth turn. Surprised Freddie let him do it. As Cavallero, Mike Cavallero continues to lead. Having one of his strongest runs. Much better, much better. The Thunderbird appears to be having problems getting back in the groove again, as perhaps we heated up a tire too much. 2 laps to go, 2 to go for Mike Cavallero. Jeff Thompson in the 46, Dick Houlihan in the 1. Tripp in the 80. Thompson, look at the 48 through the turn. 48 suddenly starting to leap ahead. Gets into trouble on the backstretch. Thompson gets under Cavallero. Across the line, it looks like it is. It's Jeff Thompson. Jeff Thompson manages to eat. That 46 just powered on by. We saw the 48 start to act funny, suddenly pick up speed, then slow back off again. So we're wondering what's happening there in that department. Kevin, ready to go with the next one?
Ready to go. On the pole out of Manville, Rhode Island, in the maid cleaning service, Majestic Home Realty, number 27 is Danny Gamache. Outside of Danny out of Cumberland, Rhode Island, the Ron's Auto Supply, Koya Sanitation, number 57 is Wayne Newman. Starting third on the field in the Alliance Diner, Reliable Roofing, number 64 is George Rigo. Outside of George, out of South Attleboro, Massachusetts, in the Carcraft Company Drive Shaft. Valley Construction, number 33 is Ray Lee. Green flag in here, they hit the gas, he waves a flag, and we're underway. Gamache with a quick jump out front takes the lead. George Rigo jumps into second underneath Wayne Newman. Tex Barry Jr. almost makes it 3 wide going into turn number 3. No room there as he backs off. Wayne Newman dropping back considerably on the outside, taking with him Wayne Dion and Ray Lee. Tex tries the outside of Rigo. He tries to work his way towards the front. Jimmy Kuhn sits 4th. Rick Martin up to 5th. Chad Chase sits 6th. Ray Lee and Wayne Dion get underneath Wayne Newman. Danny Gamache with the 7-8 car length lead on the field. Tex Barry moves up to 2nd on the outside of George Rigo. 4th is 0-1 of Jimmy Kuhn. Rick Martin sits 5th. Chad Chase 6th. Wayne Dion goes to the outside of Ray Lee, tries to work his way back towards the front. Rick Martin tries to take a shot to the outside, allows Chad Chase to get underneath. He's looking for the 0-1 of Jimmy Kuhn.
42 slides backwards.
Martingale spinning on the back stretch into the 3rd corner, out of harm's way, but caution flag comes out anyway. Jimmy Kuhn. Green flag is out, we're underway. Again with a good jump is Danny Gamache, but Tex Barry Jr. stays with them through the corner. As we've got a battlefield lead, George Rigo sits 3rd. Jimmy Kuhn fourth, Rick Martin fifth, Wayne Dion on the inside of Chad Chase for that sixth spot as we cross the halfway point. Rigo looking to make it 3 wide, but no room there. Gamache still holding on out front, Tex Barry running second, George Rigo third. Side by side, bumper to bumper, door handle to door handle. Top 8 cars now running side by side. George Rigo tries to make it 3 wide, no room, he backs off. Ray Lee moves to the outside of Wayne Dion. Tex Barry high up against the wall, no contact. Rigo off at turn 2, underneath, but no, not enough steam down the stretch as he has to back off. Tex inches ahead on the outside, Danny Gamache holding on. Rigo trying to get underneath as he does once again, but nothing doing. Tex holding on to the outside, Danny Gamache holding on out front. Once again, Rigo makes a bid to make it 3 wide, but just doesn't have it down the stretch. Danny Gamache trying to hold off Tex Barry and the rest of the field as we've got 2 laps to go. Rigo sliding it out of the corner. Tex Barry now your leader by a clear margin. Danny Gamache still sits second. Jimmy Kuhn tries to take over third on the outside. We got 1 lap to go. Barry, Gamache, Rigo, Kuhn. Martin Chase battle for that 5th spot. Coming out of 4th, it's going to be Tex Barry. Danny Gamache second. Third will be the 64. Rigo 4th with a good jump as a 94.
Like on your first date, you know? Which I still have to experience that. And ready to go with the consolation event.
And don't forget to buy your laps for the Street Stock special event coming up at on the weekend of October 7th and 8th for the DAV Memorial Weekend. You don't want to cut them out. Oh, sure. No.
Looking for the green, consolation. And it got a little hairy at the beginning of that time. Oh my. There's that 36 of Jeff Sutcliffe. Jeff's out there, but Jimmy Lawrence is everywhere but straight beside him. Jimmy using a lot of that racetrack. Down the inside goes the 86 of Mike Camara. Mike Camara gets down in there. Look out for the 72. Sonny Clements has got problems in the 72. As I think he's going to be parking it the way he's going. And look at this race between Jimmy Lawrence and Mike Camara. Jimmy Lawrence wants to get that 81 to settle in and get in that inside groove, but it just won't go there. It likes it on the outside, it likes it hanging around, but it will not go down the inside. See what happens this time. Camara's having the same problem. That back end kicks way out wide, and they get 14, 15 feet wide coming out of the turns. Jeff Sutcliffe just had to back out of it fast as he started to sway from side to side. The 70 looks like he's going for the pits. Lee Parmenter has gone on the blitz. He's had a tough night, losing part of his car the earlier race, as we still have quite a race going on between the Mike Camara automobile and Jimmy Lawrence in that 81. Halfway mark. Spencer in the 63, Kenny Spencer, kind of taking it easy. Sideways, again goes the 86. Jimmy Lawrence hangs it in the corner, throws it around sideways, squares away the corner. Watch one when they come into the first turn. They square him off and, oh, a little bit too much that time, and he gets under him, but not for long. These two, they think they're on dirt. That's the way you drive when you're on dirt. You skid around the corners. With 2 laps to go, and they're still skidding around the corners for the lead in this consolation event. It's Mike Camara's 86, Jimmy Lawrence's 81. Spencer just along for hire as the 33 of Sean Sylvia sitting in 4th spot. 77 car, Bill Haas is 5th. White flag. And the 36 car is 6th. That's Jeff Sutcliffe. He had the pole. Half a lap to go. Half a lap to go. Clement still in trouble in the 72. Again, the 86 out of the turn wins it. The 86 of Mike Camaro winning the consolation event. The 81 of Jimmy Lawrence finishing second, and it looked like they were trying to drive on dirt.
Now will be the second Street Stock Consolation event. Starting on the pole out of Warwick, Rhode Island in the Boss Auto Tech. Auto Trader 00 is Gene Weston, outside of Gene. Out of Rochester, Master Danny's Auto, Three Flag Restaurant, number 30 is Robert Demure. Billy Wilcox starts third. He hails from Attleboro, Mass. in the DeJonko Construction, number 79. And outside of him, Scott Serendinsky out of Warwick, Rhode Island in the Taylor Racing, M&S Race Cars, number 53. Starting fifth on the field. For the feature event, the rest will call it a night. Green flag is out and we're underway. Demure a little bit sideways coming off the corner as that car got extremely loose. Gene Weston moves out front. Billy Wilcox jumps in right behind him. Scott Serendinsky behind Demure. He tries the inside lane. Dale moves in right underneath him, though nothing there. Demure going high through the corner. Sideways through the corner goes Serendinsky, along with the 12. As he gathers it back up, Serendinsky dropping to the back of the field. Looks like he's got a flat tire. Gonna call this one a day. Gene Weston still out front. Billy Wilcox second as we've got 3 wide down the front stretch. Between Tatro, Bryan, and Demure, now Dale to the outside as he drops a few positions. Gene Weston out front, Billy Wilcox second, Roland Wheeler third. Fourth is David Furtado in the 25. Jim Sylvia sits fifth in that 116. Wilcox hanging it out off the corner. Trying to hold on to third. Furtado trying to gather him in. And move to the front. Tatro trying to get underneath Jim Sylvia in the 116 as we cross the halfway point. Wilcox sideways off the corner. Furtado gets underneath, but Wilcox closes the door. Once again, Furtado trying again on the inside of Wilcox. Going into turn number 3. Furtado has got the spot. He moves into third. Sylvia into fourth. Wilcox hanging it out to the outside. Wilcox loses 4 positions. That last couple of laps, that car's become extremely loose. Russ Tatro sits fifth on the field, trying to get by Jim Sylvia. As Gene Weston leads him down with just 2 laps to go. Roman Wheeler sits second, David Furtado, Jim Sylvia, Russ Tatro, Robert Demure, Billy Wilcox is just in outside. Coming down for the white flag, still out front, Gene Weston, who started on the pole. Wheeler on second, Tatro on the inside of Silva for that 4th spot. Silva drops back to 5th. Demure trying to get by him also. Silva closes the door, but Gene Weston takes the win. Second, Roland Wheeler, David Furtado third, Russ Tatro 4th. And Jim Sylvia finishes 5th as he slides it through 1 and 2 and goes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Frank loved everybody. Checks the field over. They're on the gas pedal. The green is on and we're underway. Billy,
Today, the Pro 4.
it's a 3-wide battle off turn 2. It looks like it's the 7 of Chris Norton holding on to the second position. Here comes Capristo in third. The 13, oh, trouble off turn 4. God hit on the 7 of Norton. And the 38 of Capristo. As the red flag has appeared on the racetrack, something must have broke, I think, on the Chris Norton car. Well, somebody got out of shape coming off turn 4, sending both cars hard into the retaining wall as everybody was battling it out for the top 3 positions. Officials of the Speedway checking the drivers over now to make sure they're okay.
Are you, I wanted to ask you,
That was a hard hit indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please go back to your seats. and let the officials get through. We would appreciate it. Please head back to your seats, as the officials do check over the drivers. That was a hard hit. And we have one driver out of his car. Let's give him a round of applause. Can't see who that is. It's the yellow and red car. And they're still checking on.
For professionals, he's not used to working with me.
I believe Chris Norton. They're still checking on him as he sits in that white car. I don't know. It was the red and yellow car.
It looks like Bob Caprestro has climbed out of his car all the way from New Jersey coming up for this event. Tough luck
7 in the 38 New Jersey.
for the New Jersey driver. As they're checking over Chris Norton right now, driver the number 7. He's a rookie driver in 1995 in the Pro 4 Series. Tough break for those gentlemen.
Schultz now taking an early lead.
Billy
Jumping way
Schultz,
out.
followed by
We've got
George
the
Sherman
yellow
in the second
number
spot.
13.
D.M. Judkins runs third in the 25. And here comes the 00, Dennis Luthier to the high side. Judkins, Luthier. Down the back straightaway, it's still Bill Schultz. He's looking to
Schultz in
put
that 38
country
doing a
club
great
on
job of
body
taking a look
right
at
into the
George
field.
Sherman now as
And
he
here
tries to
comes
get
Sherman
by.
looking in the high.
These cars are used to going
It is
very high
still
on the track.
Billy Schultz, George Sherman, a great battle for the third and final qualifying position. Between the 00 of Dennis Luthier and the number 3. Luthier using the high road off turn 2, down the back straightaway. He gets the momentum off the backstretch. As they cross the stripe this time around, will be the halfway mark.
Coming out of Bill Schultz's car right now.
Smoke is
A
throwing
lot of
out of the
smoke
number
coming out of the
38.
motor of number 38's on
The veteran driver from Norton, Massachusetts, the 38 showed a little smoke off turn 4, but he's still Judkins looks to the inside of Schultz, not a backstretch. Can he make the move? No, he can't. He has to follow in behind. This time off turn 4, they receive the front. 3 drivers to make it. Who will be the top 3? It's less than a lap and a half, we will know for sure. Off turn 4, the white flag is out. Battle for the top spot. Judkins in the 13 of George Sherman. Dennis Luthier looking to the high side of Sherman. He's looking for the last spot. Off turn 4, Schultz goes high. It's D.M. Judkins into the win. Schultz finishes second. I believe the 13 of George Sherman.
In the background, we can hear the voice of high impedance Pete Silver, coaxial cable king. Pete, say hi to everybody. You're on TV for tonight, but you'll be back. Tell us when is this happening here?
Hi Jim, thanks very much for having us. Well, this is CBI Sports coverage of auto racing at Seekonk Speedway. This is on weekly. You can tune into your local cable channel, as well as we've got...
That green. And it goes. And Scott Estrella grabs a great big portion of it. Scully staying right on Estrella's back bumper. Leroy Hudson does not get going. Leroy Hudson in the 02 doesn't get it going. And Scott Estrella has the lead, but Tom Scully ready to do battle at any moment if you give him any room underneath. And he do down the backstretch. As the 15 of Kenny Bamford. Estrella a little bit wide. Estrella using up a lot of racetrack to stay in front. He gets a little bit wide down the backstretch. Estrella's in the lead. Scully is second. Bamford is third. 18, the 12 of Bobby Pellin. He wants up in there. Pellin trying to get onto Bamford. Pellin trying to get back out of there as the door suddenly goes bang in front of him. Now Scully has got a hole. Scully has got a hole under Estrella. Can he pull him down the backstretch? Estrella pulls him coming out of the turn and is able to close the door. As Estrella now continuing to lead. The 7 of Scully running in second spot. Bamford is third. Pellin is fourth. And that 93 car of Scott Fournier running in fifth spot at the halfway mark. Halfway. never getting the 0-2 running. Just out there, same lap, that's all. There's your 2 leaders. Whoa, we got a jam up here as appears. Ow! Looks like Dana Willis caught the back corner of the 12 on the way by. Dana's moving around. Let's see, check the 12. 12 was able to move under his own power. As Bobby Pellin, he went in there backwards. Dana's checking damage to the 55 car as he took a lot of the sheet metal off. I don't know if the, I think the right. Now Scott Estrella gets the green and runs with it. As the 93 does not get going, the 95 has to go around backwards. The 95 stuck on the track backwards, and we're into a caution situation.
Oh, well, really not much, you know. We only work on it like once, twice if we come back.
95, I don't even have. Is that 96? Once again, we go with the green for this 6 cars to qualify consolation event.
Scott Estrella still maintaining his lead over Scully in the number 7 car.
This time the 93 stays up in there, stays running very, very strong. Scott Fournier keeps it running good and strong. As that 45 of Scott Estrella and Tom Scully. 93 being challenged right now by the 18 automobile. Steve Ribby has worked the 18 up in there. Only 6 are going to qualify. Only 6 are going to qualify. Now the 12 has worked his way up to a qualifying position. Hold on to that. We got 2 or 3 all out of control here. We got something broken on one of them. 2 laps remain. 2 laps remain as the 56 automobile. And the 24 going out. Mike Blackbar, he's got a problem. White flag coming out. Here's your leader. Estrella. Scully. Scott Fournier.
It's Scott Estrella still hanging on. He's really holding off.
And that's it. Let's see who qualifies. All the way back to Dana Willis. Dana Willis managing to qualify. Dana Willis in the 55 manages to qualify. From Tiverton, Rhode Island, Tat Construction, number 7 to be outside pole. Chris Robbins, the Goosebrook, 91, Flint's Pest Control, Precision Auto Body. He'll be out starting 3rd. The 59 of Jose Ferro. From Fairhaven, Bear Garb, Seaport Inn, and James Long Electric car. Number 59, Jose Ferro Jr. Mike Hope in that number 7 car. Where's Mike? From Rehoboth, Bike Services, DBG Racing, and Goosebrook Auto. Then we have the Bristol, Rhode Island 65, Ronald Bloreau. BG Installation car, O'Brien's Automotive, Steve's Auto Parts, Jack's Auto Salvage, and Taylor Rental. Robbie Kohler is out here in the 4 car from Warwick, sponsored by Sea Farm Kennels, Patton, Ray, and International Sports Cars, Dick and Sons, and a whole bunch of other people there. Number 4 on the Rob Kohler car from Warwick. Watch this red number 40 now. That's Zeke Harmon Landscaping, Ron's Auto Body, Keith Bliss and Sons, Grand Tire Center, Bay State Storage, car number 40, Amasa Harmon from Berkeley, and he's flying. The owner-operator of car number 21 is Bob Betancourt. No, Bob Betancourt Sr. is the owner. The operator is Bob Betancourt Jr., sponsored by Williston Electric, TL Holland Real Estate, Junior's Auto Supply, JNS Auto Parts, Tiverton, Rhode Island, number 21, Bobby Betancourt. Dave Westgate in that red and silver, number 49, the Bugsy Stevens Freetown Auto. Right at that point, they start to accelerate. The green flag comes out, and we are ready with racing in our feature event.
On the outside of him is the number 7 car.
Evan Follen manages to grab a piece of it. Down the inside is Chris Robbins. Chris Robbins is keeping Tony Olszewski out. Chris Robbins is keeping Tony Olszewski out of the 2nd spot. As Robbins and Olszewski get together, look out, it's Harry up in the lead. As we get that 65 of Ron LaRoe, he gets around sideways, straightens it out. Your leader is still Kevin Follen. Kevin Follen. As that 9 car Mike Hope has barged his way up into second spot. Mike Hope in the 9 barges his way up through and takes over second spot. The 91 dropping back quickly. Chris Robbins has a problem. He's dropping back to the rear quickly. Chris dropping back. The 9 is in second going after Full.
Good example of the huge gap between
Betancourt and the 21 works his way up in there.
Fold in the 110.
There's your leader, the 110. Has that 4 of Bob Kohler. 4 of Kohler, he's up in there. So is Betancourt in the 21. As your fast cars had moved to the rear for some reason, the 91 of Chris Robbins going backwards. Here comes that red number 40 of Harmon. Harmon in that red 40 and Pete Fernandez in the 26, the black 26, side by each in that 5th spot as they try for the next one. Pete Fernandez gets by Harmon in the 26. Fernandez keeping the pressure on. And look at the 7. The 7 of Ozowski again gets fast as he's further back. Your leader is Kevin Foley. The 9, Mike Hope is second. Kohler.
Now Mike Hope is getting down underneath, doing a great job. Coleman's holding him off.
The 9 gets under. The 9 gets under. Kohler looks out sideways in the 4 car as he is trying to hold on to Betancourt. As the 9 car looks like it's dragging something. The 9. Looks like something coming out the back of the 9. It could be just dragging something or worse than that. Okay, some piece of metal or something dragging from the car, a piece of duct tape. All right, as that Mike Hope automobile, Rehoboth, Massachusetts. Mike Hope has taken over the lead at the halfway mark. He's got the lead at the halfway mark. Kevin Collin wide and touches the wall. Kevin Collin gets out too wide and hits the wall and keeps on going. And keeps on ticking. So that leaves Mike Hope with second spot, Rob Kohler in that 4 car. Betancourt right behind him. Betancourt in the 21, Kohler in the 4. Yellow flag is out as that Sean Sylvia car. Sean Sylvia on the backstretch. Sean Sylvia.
3 and 4. That's Sean Sylvia.
Get ready to go.
He's ready to drop the green.
As fast as they can and still keep it under control. The green is out. And the race is between the 21 on Betancourt and Kohler in the 4. The 21 and the 4 get tangled, and the 4 goes ground looped. The 4 is ground looped, and he's stuck on the backstretch. Poland and Harmon get together, and so does Fernandez.
Rob Kohler got sideways, sort of pushed. Wow, look at the damage.
I somehow 9 to go in this feature event for the street stocks. Green, yes.
Drops the flag, and off we go. We're racing. Very good battle indeed. It's like up to the 9 car on the outside.
Tony Olszewski going into pits. Tony Olszewski having a call it quits. There's Betancourt going after the 9. Betancourt in the 21 going after the 9.
Trying to stay low or at the same time.
Betancourt trying to close the door and take over the lead.
Betancourt powers his way through, Tom.
And he does.
Did a nice job there. You can see both of them.
Now Harmon will be taking on the 9 of Mike Hope. That red 40 is the next one to challenge.
Really doing very, very well now. Hope now in second place in that 9 car.
5 laps remain. 5 laps remain.
40 gets the 40 car of Amasi Harmon in 3rd spot. I believe he's starting midfield in this race as well.
Yeah, you see him coming out of the turn.
And Pete Fernandez stays right on the back of Hamasi Hammond, looking for any kind of an opportunity to get by. Your leader is that 21 car of Bob Betancourt.
Well, this is a big break for that 21 automobile.
Betancourt strutting it out a little bit, a couple of car lengths. As the 9 a little bit sideways. Harmon has to get sideways. 9 and Harmon battling it out. Down the inside taking over second as Betancourt with 2 laps remaining. Betancourt trying to fight valiantly to take over and hold on. Betancourt holding on to the lead right now. White flag coming out for the 21 for Betancourt, the 40 Harmon, and the 9 of Mike Hope. Very, very fast. Lot of competition still to go out of the turn. Here's your winner. It's Bobby Betancourt, Amasa Harmon, and the 9 of Mike Hope finishing in that order.
Mike Hope, tough time for Mike Hope. He had the lead.
Tiverton, Rhode Island's number 21, Bob Betancourt, the junior. Dad owns the automobile. Memorial evening.
The checkered.
Fantastic run for the 21, as he had a lot of competition out there. Mike Hope led the way for many, many miles.
He's currently in 4th position.
Then he had Mr. Hamasi Harmon nipping at the heels.
And so recapping this
So
race.
Bob Betancourt, he'll be going over to victory lane here in just a moment or two.
Field that brought Mike Hope out to the front. Mike Hope challenged heavily by your winner right there.
And we'll be getting ready to get out of the trackside just as soon as Bob Betancourt comes by.
And the 9 car
We'll begin our
street stock division feature race right here.
activities surrounding the memorial.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're glad you're with
The late
us.
Frank Procopio.
Very good view of Mr. Betancourt pulling his car up.
So where'd you like to say to all you fans who gathered out here tonight in honor of his memory? Dennis?
Thank you very much. It's been quite a pleasure to put this night together for the Procopio family. It was quite a lot of work and a lot of people helped me out, and I'd just like to recognize a few of those people. The Procopio family, number 1, they were great in helping me put this together. And Billy Ambrosio, Chuck Gerlich worked really hard for me to raise the purse for tonight. We hope that everyone has a safe race tonight. We'll be starting all 28 cars that are running, and we hope that everyone enjoys the show. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. Joyce, Frank Procopio ran here for many, many years, and this was one of his favorite racetracks. He won a couple of championships here on the Pro 4s. Dick Houlihan drove for him the last time he won a championship, and that's why you got Cooley to be the ace car tonight. But this was Frank's first love, Seekonk. The Nettie family and Frank were always very close friends, and we just felt it was fitting to have the first Frank Procopio Memorial race here at Seekonk.
Thank you, Dennis. I'd like to thank all you fans who came out here tonight.
The crowd we have tonight and all of these fine competitors, and would you please hold all of these competitors and all of us in the palm of your hand during a safe race this evening. Amen.
And now, if I could all ask you to remain standing while we pay tribute to the greatest nation in the world, our national anthem.
and gentlemen, you have witnessed a tradition that I've been watching for a long time, and that is the American flag being driven around the Seekonk Speedway. And as that happens, nobody is prouder than the United States, and everybody here is. Frank Procopio was a great man. He loved everybody in auto racing. Everybody loved Frank. As now we're getting set for 30 laps of competition in his name. Dick Houlihan will pace the field. His co-star, as Dick was one of Frank's last drivers. As soon as the drivers are all buckled in, the helmets on, looks like we're ready to go. Gentlemen, start your engines, and ladies. Fire up in the French River. Anywhere between 170 and 200 horsepower. Considering the hook of the modified car. All right. You may spend any kind of power, and may handle. The engines are very rapidly through the corners. Continue to drive racing switch all the way around. You continue to straight back in at the
As Savory has taken over the top spot in traffic, the new race leader is the victim from Westwood, Massachusetts, George Savory. Savory slices and dices his way through traffic as he works up turn 4. Holloway now running in the second position. Third spot belongs to Mike Casey. Fourth is Dave Lassard. Fifth is Ron Smith. This time around, they'll get the halfway mark. Halfway. It's George Savory. There's about a 3-car length advantage over the Holyoke. As more laps benefit by player on. And Holyoke reeled in Savory to make the same move that Savory made on here. Savory and Holyoke, those guys are hailing like glue as they work up turn 4 to complete another lap. Still holding on to the third position. It's the number 1 now, Dave Lassard. Casey back to 4th. 5th and 2 of Ron Smith. 6th is the 90th David Brown. As Holloway is following in, but trying to close in on the back bumper of Savory's that worked on the backstretch. Major lap traffic in the way. Holloway looks to the inside. Into turn 1. Holloway trying to make a move in traffic. They're side by side. Who will know as Savory's slicing his way through lap traffic. Incredible racing between Savory and Holloway. Identically built cars controlling the trenches of the car. Savory and Let's go. Trouble in turns 2. Get out of shape. As the Dupree spins to the infield, yellow out on the speedway for the first time. Yellow flag as Rene Dupree gets out of shape. The cutters are back in. Trouble in turn 4 as the green comes out. As we get cars scattered all over the place, and the yellow appears once again. Looks as though the Bill Gaston has lost a radiator. Looks like there may be parts on the racetrack. Tough break for Bill Gaston as he had come a long way from the back row of the starting position. As Bill Gaston has side by side. Savory down all, Holyoke up high. Off the second turn in single file. Off turn 4. It's bumper to bumper action with Savory on the road. Still a clean line down the front stretch. Incredible racing as it is still as Missouri Senior is off the pace. Tough break for the 30. But Dave Missouri is off the pace. As he was looking at the circle. George Savory and Holyoke. Dave Lassard looking down the battle. With the 221 and the 21X's Missouri. Both the George Savory and Holyoke. 5 laps remaining, 5 to go. As it's number 1, Dave Lassard running third. Trouble off turn 4. And he hurt inside of shape. Along with his 17. Tom Sherman, yellow out. Yellow out once again at the speedway. His yellow has appeared once again. Is Tom Sherman in the 17. This time across the strike, there'll be 3 laps to go. His Lou Horton pulls his to the inside.
actually come up with the idea of doing it. Frank, he's like one of my best friends. I'm very, very happy, very proud, more than happy to be here. Except these lives win secondary. Just being here, on behalf of him and the Vendettis is beyond grace, really. It wasn't for that traffic when you got by Eddie Boliak. I know you two guys had a good balance. Do you think you could have passed him if it wasn't for all that traffic in front of you? I don't know, Eddie was tough. That's one of my cars there, and he was going real good. You know, I had my doubts. He was slowing down a little bit, we were picking up a little bit, and at the end I could listen to the right rear tire, so you're kind of equal with those. But this is the way we had talked. You kind of would like to done it. So we was like perfectly this way, but we're happy to do it this way. Well, George, once again, congratulations on your win here. Frank's sisters were here to present you with Frank Procopio's sisters. They're here to present you with the trophy for the first annual Frank Procopio Memorial Race.
Boucher, turn around.
He wants to get a picture of you two ladies with
Peter, get in the picture. Can you
I gotta get him down there, play some ice.
down there?
No. Where are they going? Line them up for us, please.
You do that and you're on deep shit. Okay, this way, please. Nice to where's the checkered flag? Shake hands. I'm sorry? This way? I don't know. I think he was pulling my leg.
Right down.
This is Vendetti?
Presentation.
Small motor. Chuck.
You can.
Thanks for having us.
You can announce what they do.
Hopefully.
Right now we have a presentation from Mrs. Vendetti and the rest of the Vendetti family to the family of Frank Procopio.
If you want. Let's let my mother.
In honor of his many years here at Seekonk Speedway.
Hold on one. Can you guys just hold on 1 second?
All right, guys.
Okay. This way. Yo, this way, please. Smile. Yo.
On candid camera.
Boy, can you stay with Jessica?
Look at him. You know who I am?
Looking right over here. Play here. Dave, would you come over here? Right.
Can I? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so.
George, for a second.
Tell me what Jenny.
George.
Right now, and pick up a valuable prize. Remember, hot dogs for a limited time only, till they're all gone. $1 a piece. No extra charge for the roll. Hot dogs, $1 a piece. Jeff Goodrow from Pembroke will be on the pole on the start of this sportsman feature. Car number 31. Where's Jeff? Here he comes, the white number 31. That's the Cisco car out of Pembroke. Richard McRae in the 13, the black 13, the Cody and Tobin Steele car out of Swansea. Ken Colvin, red, white, and blue, RPM, Nats Maintenance. Car number 6, Ken Colvin out of Attleboro. Skippy Shoemaker in that number 20 car, where's Skip? From Taunton, the Roadstone Corporation number 20. Robert White, there's the Roadstone R. Robert Wright in the 16 out of Brockton, that yellow and white number 16. There's the line, there's the green, we're racing! McRae very quickly gets around Goodrow and jumps into that lead. Coleman trying to get away from Shoemaker. Coleman trying to get away from Shoemaker and get his own spot. As Wright in the 16 following Coleman through. Ron Reed's 89. He's trying to stick on it, but it's the outside row, and he's a little bit slower than Titus right now. Your leader is still McRae. Goodrow is second. Coleman is third. Shoemaker sitting in fourth spot with Wright in fifth. As the feature event continues in the sportsman division. And it's down the backstretch. Richard McRae, car number 13, setting a terrific pace for them. They single file it. That's the speed they're doing. If you're on that outside row, you're going backwards right now. And that's what the 89 of Ron Reed is finding out. He cannot get into the faster groove. He's got to start making time pretty soon. He's hoping that he can squeeze in there as this field is flying. McRae continues to dominate. A little jam up going into the third turn. That straightens things out in a hurry. Everybody was looking for racing room there for a moment. And a hood coming up on 55 in the 12 to 57. Tom Scully 7. No, 57, okay. And the 12, Bobby Pellin appears to have quit. Bobby Pellin's car appears to have quit.
That's the Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
We've got trouble.
And we got a couple don't get by him.
Goodrow got sideways. There you have the bang.
7 of Tom Scully stopped on the bottom of the track. That's Dana Willis, Steve Ribby, the 93 of Scott.
Nobody can pass him right there.
Drop the flag and we are racing.
He moved quickly to take over both first place and second place positions as much as he could. And the 43 automobile was totally out of control, and he grabbed it back and gathered it all up again. As Kenny Kohler somehow found the strength to put that thing back good and straight ahead. McRae with the lead. Shoemaker second. Coleman is third.
It's a real race right now.
Kohler
Shoemaker in the 20 trying to
putting the pressure on the 95 Manchester.
They are drafting. Shoemaker looking for it.
Down the inside now. Shoemaker tries it.
Great job. They get a little bit.
Whoa, and they touch. Shoemaker and McRae touch. McRae has to pull out. McRae has to pull out so that thing's cool down, and he moves back to third. This opens it right up with Shoemaker now in the lead, and here comes Coleman. Manchester and the 43 of Kohler stretched it out between them.
In the 6 McRae trying to find his way back.
Shoemaker, Coleman, and the 13 of McRae. And now we got somebody slowing down, and look out. We got cars all over the racetrack. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Yellow is out as we had a car slowing down going through the turn. And it caused an awful lot of cars to get pushed out of position, and it didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see
Enriquez says yes. Let's see what's going to happen. Shoemaker gets a good go.
Battling it out, the number 20 car, Rich McRae.
Coleman trying to hang in there. McRae right behind him.
Coleman in the 6 car. I said McRae.
Yellow flag. Oh, the 08. The 08 is out of action over on the...
well, just about
coming out of the second turn. Something happened to the 08. Little chain reaction there.
Here we go. We're back on the way. We got contact again. We saw Shoemaker go up high. We're going to push the number 6 car out of the way. We saw
And Coleman gets tangled up.
Kenny Coleman in the 6 car.
Whoa, he gets hit hard. He gets nailed hard. There's somebody on the way by. There was just no way they could get by him.
I'll try to get a look for you.
And that was the 45 of Scott Estrella.
Along with Tom Ring, right here in the broadcast tower.
Same company, different name. Look out, green and going. Shoemaker with a little bit of a jump, but look at the 43 of Ken Kohler. Ken Kohler stays under McRae. Kohler stays under McRae, and look at the 99 coming in there. The 99 staying with him. McRae sliding the 13 out sideways, but he doesn't get in the inside as the 99, and the 13 goes way wide and lost several positions.
Black flag is just coming out from the 95, but really dangerous. That car was throwing out a bunch of smoke off the left rear corner. He's taking that car back into the pits.
Glenn Young in the middle of this fray. As the 43 on the 43 touch a jump. As they get squeezed, and look at the 3. The 3 comes in there from nowhere. Joe Perry from nowhere.
Ken Kohler goes way out high, just barely up.
This is squeeze racing now.
Good show driving by Kenny Kohler as he came through down the front stretch sideways. Yeah, the back of the car wiggling back and forth, and he was able to save it off the wall.
A whole lot of cars all trained for the same spot. And we got squeeze racing going on. Joe Perry, out of nowhere in the 3, moves in on Shoemaker. 2 to go, 2 more.
Perry makes a bit on the outside.
Look at Shoemaker go. Glenn Young also challenging Glenn Young. Got 2 laps to go.
Young got a little bit squirrely as he got off the track. White flag, and look at this. Side by side for the lead. White flag. Joe Perry trying to take it away from Shoemaker. Young, not to be outdone, staying with them. Out of the turn. Young gives it to it. Whoa, it's Shoemaker and then possibly Young or Perry. We have to wait for an official on that as both Young and Perry trying to get across the line at the same time.
Or what it looked like to be anyway.
That was a tough race, really. You know, the thing, we see a lot of bumping and grinding, as you always say. The thing that's really impressive in this race is that they stayed on the green. There were a lot of guys fighting for position. You know, we talked about...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause. Wave to him as he goes by. Skip Shoemaker. Out of Taunton, Mass, in the Mary Ann Third Salon, skipper on Limo, Roadstone Corporation, number 20.
Get it together.
Whitehead. Head starting scratch on the field. Lead all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. In the New England machine, Bob Sunoco, Lens full service, number 42. It's E. Martin Zingale. Couple of spots. Now Rodriguez waves at me, flag, and we're underway. Good jump by Cavallaro. Gamache drops in behind Rigo. Gets a jump on the outside. He's on the outside of Gamache. Freddie Estelle moves up. That outside line moving just a bit. Rigo trying to get by gets into it, almost into Ray Lee as Dick Houlihan loses a couple of spots. Channing and Sylvia come together on the back straightaway as we go under caution.
Dave Sylvia really tangled up on turns.
Dave Sylvia, a hard hit into Steve Channing. Steve spun off the corner. And
Dave Sylvia and then Jericho.
Dave Sylvia with absolutely nowhere to go. A hard hit into the 23 of Steve Channing. Freddie Estelle sits on the outside of the second row. And as Danny Gamache tries to get a jump down the field, not gonna do it.
You know, I was waiting for that.
As we're going to try that once again. Dave Sylvia made it back down to the pitch just in time. The green is on and we're underway. Cavallaro now with the jump he received last time. Good enough to go out front. George Rigo slideways through the corner. As he's running in that third spot, trying to get in right behind him, the 18 of Tex Perry Jr., Freddie Estelle, caught up behind Danny Gamache. Chad Chase on the outside, Jimmy Kuhn on the inside, Wayne Dion on the inside, Dick Houlihan on the outside, Rick Martin on the inside. Who will it be? Cavallaro still out front as everybody gathers up the front stretch. As Danny Gamache gathers everybody as he's hard on the binders. Wayne Dion was into fifth, Rick Martin sixth. On their way to the front, we're going to go to caution.
Tex Perry Jr. in all of that mess ended up in third place behind Rigo, the 64.
Danny Gamache, something happened to that crowd down the front. We should go green. Mike Cavallaro and George Rigo in front row. Green is out, we're back underway. Rigo with a good jump on the outside. Side by side, going through the corners. He's looking for the lead. Here comes Tex Perry to make it 3 wide. There he goes, 3 wide. He takes on the second spot. Freddie Estelle follows through. And he goes sideways. The 87 sideways into Chad Chase. And the 56 spins into the infield. And Barry goes around on the back straightaway. We're under caution. What happened? I missed that.
Barry was 50, 64, all the way down.
On the inside. Rigo was on the outside of him.
He's hot tonight.
Freddie Estelle makes a hit. Green flag is out. We're underway. Freddie sideways through the corner. Rick Martin with the jump on the outside right next to Wayne Dion. Dion moves to the outside. Tries the high side of Estelle. Houlihan gets underneath Mike. Looks for the inside of Dion. Dion looks for the outside of Estelle. Dion looking for his first win of the season. Kuhn looking for his first win of the season. Kuhn out front. Estelle second. Dion third. And here comes Bobby Trent. Here comes Lenny Ellis. Jimmy Kuhn trying to open up a little bit of a gap on the field. Freddie Estelle runs second, trying to hold off Dick Houlihan, trying to hold off Wayne Dion, trying to hold off Bobby Tripp, trying to hold off Rick Martin. Side by side, they go for that third spot. Dick Houlihan, Wayne Dion, Freddie Estelle running a blue and a half as he is able to, looking for that front spot. Jimmy Kuhn trying to open up. He's got a 3-car length lead on the field. Freddie Estelle runs second, Wayne Dion. Dick Houlihan trading paint down the straightaway. Dion starting to lose ground on the outside. Houlihan takes on the third. Bobby Tripp looks to follow suit. Steve Channing working his way through the field. He's cracked the top 10, looking to work his way to the front. Jimmy Kuhn still leading him down. Freddie Estelle sits second, Dick Houlihan third, Wayne Dion fourth, Bobby Tripp, Rick Martin, Lenny Ellis, Wayne Newman, and here comes Steve Channing. And Ivan Zingali goes sideways through 3 and 4, and once again we are under caution.
And now we're back under yellow, you see the 42 car.
That's Eric Zingali.
Tough break for Jimmy Kuhn. He had opened up a 4. Now Rodriguez waves to be flag and we're underway. Kuhn with a decent jump. Freddie Estelle trying to hold on the outside. Dick Houlihan right there. Wayne Dion, Bobby Tripp, Rick Martin. Dion drops to the inside behind Houlihan. Freddie trying to hold on the outside. Houlihan moves up into second underneath the Snell. Zingali slow on the high side. He's going to bring that car into the pits. Martin trying the outside. He's on the outside of Bobby Tripp. Trying to work his way to the front. Hooley underneath Estelle. He's got the second spot. Wayne Dion under Estelle. He's looking for the third spot.
Winding down in the points race, winding up.
Jimmy Q looking for his first win of the 95 season, leads him down. Dick Houlihan on his bumper. Wayne Dion sits third. Bobby Tripp fourth. Freddie Estelle back to fifth. Lenny Ellis moves up to sixth on the inside line. Back to seventh. Bobby Tripp now looks to the high side of Wayne Dion. We're halfway through. Jimmy Kuhn still out front. Hooley, Dion, Tripp. Tripp to the outside of Dion. Hooley to the outside of Kuhn. Side by side. Dion looks for room underneath Hooley. No room there. Freddie Estelle has dropped back to ninth spot. Jimmy battling with Steve Channing. Trippy and Dion battle for position. Trippy trying to work his way to the front. He's by Dion. He's looking for Hooley.
If he can drop down in front of Houlihan, he may sell him the second place spot right now.
Hooley on the back bumper of Q. Looking for room. Trippy and Hooley side by side for that second spot. Wayne Newman slow on the speedway.
Damage on that automobile back in the race. There you go. There's Q1, Bobby Tripp. As he makes his way around, he is.
Martin back behind Ellis. Ellis moves up to fifth. Martin back to sixth. Channing has worked his way up to ninth. Bobby Tripp is got by Hooley. Trippy now sets his sights on Q. Tripp to the outside of Q. Q trying to hold him off. On the high side comes Tripp as we got a car sideways on the back straightaway.
We've got a car in the infield, but we're still under green.
He's off the track. We're still under green. Tripp side by side with Q looking for his third win of the 1995 season. That's Danny Gamache on the inside of the back straightaway. Hooley drops back just a bit. Trippy into second. And we've got debris on the front straightaway. Looks like the back of somebody's bumper cover.
Where is that?
And James White in the 56 takes his car into the infield. Trippy still on the outside, trying to get his way to the front. Kuhn still out front. Hooley takes a dive underneath Trippy, side by side for second. Kuhn still out front. Trippy sits in second. Hooley sits third. Dion fourth. Lenny Ellis fifth. Rick Martin sixth. Trippy once again tries the outside of Q. Does he have the tires to last?
Fabulous entertainment. Auto racing.
5 laps to go this time around. 5 laps to go. Q out front. Trippy on the outside. Bobby Tripp trying to take down another win. Jimmy Q trying to hold on for his first. Dick Houlihan runs third. Wayne Dion fourth. Lenny Ellis fifth. Mike Cavallaro about to get left by the field. Jimmy Q, Bobby Tripp side by side down the back straightaway. Trippy closing in on the lead. Q trying to hold on. Out of 4 this side by side. Q by a half a car. Cavallaro goes into the pits. Q coming out of turn number 4 with 2 laps to go. Q trying to hold him off Trippy. Got him by a wheel. Through 1 and 2 side by side down the back straightaway. Jimmy Q out front by half a car. 3 and 4 coming out of 4 for the white flag. They're side by side. He's got him by a wheel. Into 1 and 2. They're still side by side. Jimmy Q out front into turn number 3. Through the corner out of turn number 4. It's Q to Trippy. And it's... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That was close.
Absolutely.
That was close. I'm going to wait for the official word.
Photo finish this time.
That was close. Bobby Tripp holding, taking down his first win of the 1995 season.
Wow.
Bobby Tripp is rolling up to the start finish.
Bobby Tripp drives by, gives him a thumbs up. Good race. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Jimmy Kuhn a big round of applause, as this is a well-deserved victory for this Brockton, Massachusetts native. And that's what it's all about, side-by-side racing. Action at its peak, and that's why they call this the action track of the East.
Some of the best we've seen all year long. A very slow to start race. A lot of yellows in the first few laps. It seemed like we never get past the 5th lap.
And I'm not sure if he's running Thompson with his other car, but if he is, this has got to give him a lot of momentum going into tomorrow's race, as this was.
He's the one that started all. I named Dowling's restaurant and all that sort of thing. He's in the #1 truck. And the green is out. The green is out and we're racing. As that Zero of Joe Putnam's, the Ford-powered Zero, gets around. Remember, all the others are, other brands are push-rod engines. The Fords, the Zero and the 1 are overhead cam. You can't do a heck of a lot with that motor. But you can make it go. They're all coupled right up in there. Not as easy as it once was, as we're getting tighter and tighter. 6 cars all trying for 1 spot. 6 trucks at the halfway mark. Halfway mark. 6. The Zero truck, Joe Putnam, with Ray Solier still running in 2nd spot. Jeff Carter in the 3, holding down 3rd spot. Vernon Belcher wants that yellow number 7. It is there. Freddie Dowling he's sitting in the back end. He doesn't want to, do any damage to that like heck. As he just gives Turk Gunbay a whole style side fender right in his front end. Look out. Dowling is on the move, white flag. Ray Solier is trying to get around that Zero of Joey Putnam. Ray Solier is pushing it in. Oh my goodness. Look out. Around and around and around we go. And Freddie Dowling has bent up Billy Clark's truck. How are you going to explain that to don't anybody call Virginia tonight? Billy's down in Virginia, and there's that #1 truck. Of course, Billy doesn't own it, but, Dowling said he wouldn't scratch it. Well, he did. Kevin, you've been in touch with the pits. Do we have time to even get started with the other feature? What is the story of the pits?
What's he doing? What is this? Like somebody runs out the field.
I don't think we can get the other one started.
I've got bad news.
Yeah.
Bad
Formula
news.
4s.
Formula 4s. That race has been postponed, and tough break for them once again.
I'd like to thank my mother, and I'd like to thank...
That's it for tonight, folks.
Don't forget to see Joe Putnam and Jimmy Kuhn up in Victory Lane. Jimmy's up there now, being interviewed by Dana Rowe. As you can hear that on their little PA system they have up there. Joe Putnam will be up there in just a little bit. So don't forget to take a walk up there before you leave tonight.
And the Formula 4s will be rescheduled. Okay. We can't tell you when exactly, but they will be. And ladies and gentlemen, we've had